Today in this lesson, we will learn 5 important journal entries. Here we will rectify the errors. Rectification of errors, correction of errors, these are very common in exam paper. So often you see this question, but many of you make mistake in the exam or test. So here in this lesson, I have taken 5 important transactions from O-level past papers. I'll show you here how to answer. So before we dive in here, let us have a look at the question. Rachel prepared her trial balance at 21st January. The total of the debit side was more than the total of the credit side. Rachel entered the difference in a suspense account. Okay. Then here we see 5 transactions. Rachel later discovered the following errors. So here we see 5 errors. We will rectify these errors one by one. Okay. So this is the format here. In this column we will write the number of the errors. Then detail means debit account and credit accounts. Then here debit amount and here credit amounts. Okay. So great. What is our first transaction? A repair to the premises $220 had been debited to the premises account. Premises, these are non-current asset, and repairs of premises, this is a revenue expenditure. Yeah, so this is an error of principle. That means expense considered as an asset. Okay, so repairs to premises, it is an expense. Yeah, so when expense increase, expense will be debited. Yeah, but here mistakenly premises account had been debited. Yeah, so to rectify now, premises account will be credited. Yeah, and repairs to premises, it is a normal debit account, it is an expense. Yeah, so expense will be debited. Okay, so let us write here number 1, repairs to premises or premises repair to be debited and premises account to be credited. So here the debit amount is 220 and same on the credit column. Okay, so why premises account here credited? It was mistakenly debited. Okay, to rectify now it has to be credited. Yeah, okay, great. Our second transaction is the purchases of motor vehicle $3,400 on credit from Niels Wheels had not been recorded in the accounting records. So it is an error of omission. Okay, this transaction is completely omitted from the books of account. Okay, so for this transaction now we will write a normal journal. Okay, so here motor vehicles have been purchased. Yeah, so motor vehicles are non-current asset. Yeah, when non-current asset is purchased, non-current asset will be increased. Yeah, in this case non-current asset will be debited. Okay, and this purchase is made on credit. Okay, credit from Neil Motors. Okay, the supplier. So here the supplier account will be credited. Okay, because supplier is our liability, here liability will be increased. When liability is increasing, it will be credited. Okay, so let us write here number 2, motor vehicles account to be debited and Nels Motor account to be credited. Okay, so here $3,400 on the debit column and same amount on the credit column. Okay, so number 2 is done. So here number 3, we have both the sales journal and the purchase journal had been overcast by $100. So sales journal and purchase journal both had been overcast. Okay, now to rectify this, both have to be decreased by 100. Yeah, okay, so sales are revenue. Yeah, sales and purchase, this both are nominal account. Okay, so what is the rule for nominal account? When expenses increase, expenses will be debited. When expenses decrease, expenses will be credited. Opposite for revenue. When revenue increases, revenue will be credited, okay? But when revenue decreases, in this case, revenue will be debited. So here sales have been overcast by $100. Now we have to decrease sales, okay? So it is a revenue. So to decrease sales by $100, sales will be debited, okay? So here same for purchase. Purchase is an expense. It was overcast by $100. Now we have to decrease by $100, okay? So purchase is an expense. Now if we decrease purchase by 100, purchase will be credited, okay? So let us write here number 3, sales account to be debited and purchases account to be credited, okay? So both here will be 100 on the debit side and same on the credit side, okay? So number 3 is done. Number 4 is here. Returns inward $19 had not been recorded in the returns inward accounts. So here returns inward, okay? It is a sales return, okay? Another name. So sales return is not recorded. Now what to do? Now we need to record the sales return, yeah? So sales return is a normal debit account, okay? So if we record this sales return now correctly, sales returns will be debited, okay? And here our suspense account will be credited because the mistake where is the mistake, it is not identified. Temporary trial balance is balanced with the suspense account, okay? It is written on the question. So here now sales return will be debited, okay? And suspense account will be credited. So let us write here number 4, sales returns, okay? If you write returns inwards, it is also okay. So sales returns will be debited and suspense account will be credited, okay? The amount is here on the question, $19 on the debit column and $19 on the credit column, okay? So number 4 is done. Number 5, the last one. Bank interest receipt $25 had been recorded to the bank charges account. The entry in the bank account had been correctly made, okay? Bank interest and bank charges, these two accounts are completely different. Bank interest is an income, but bank charge is an expense. So interest receipt is recorded as bank charges, okay? You know, bank charge, it is an expense, okay? So here expense is increasing by mistake, okay? So to rectify this error now, bank charge means the expense has to be decreased, okay? So to decrease the expense, we need to credit bank charge, okay? And bank interest is a normal credit account. It is an income, yeah? When income increases, income will be credited. So here interest receipt will be also credited, okay? So bank charge is credited, interest receipt also credited. What about the debit account? Well, debit account will be here suspense, okay? So let us write here number 5, suspense account to be debited, interest receipt account to be credited, and bank charge account to be credited, okay? So here on the question, interest receipt is debited to bank charge by $25, okay? So here interest receipt on the credit column 25, bank charge on the credit column same 25, and here suspense will be 25 plus 25 equal to $50, okay? So let us write here 50. So simple, but you need to understand. Remember, these are very common in your exam. I have many videos on my channel on this topic. If you want, you can check out.